for our project, we decided that we wanted to talk about Chinese food and fungus, both the good and the bad. And the good of that being some recipes that use fungus in them. And the first one that we wanted to talk about was mushu pork. And now there's a much larger ingredient list for this. And so you're going to need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of white wine, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, 1 pound pork tenderloin cut into thin strips, 1 3/4 ounces dried shiitake mushrooms, 1/2 cup sliced green onions, 3 tablespoons minced garlic, 2 tablespoons peeled and minced fresh ginger, 1 head of napa cabbage, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of white wine, 1/2 teaspoon cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon white sugar, 1/4 teaspoon ground black pepper, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 2 large eggs beaten, 2 tablespoons of white wine, 1 cup of hoisin sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and finally 16 frozen Chinese mushu pancakes, thawed and warmed. Now, the directions for this to start. You're going to need to place 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of white wine, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch into a non-reactive bowl and stir until smooth. Stir the pork strips into the marinade, thoroughly coat, and then refrigerate that for 1 hour. Next, you're going to want to pour hot water over the shiitake mushrooms in a bowl and allow them to soften for 15 to 20 minutes. And then you're going to want to drain and pat those dry, then remove any of the stems and finally chop them. Then you're going to put the mushrooms and the green onions and the garlic and the ginger into a bowl and set that aside. The next step is to remove the leaves of the napa cabbage and tear the green leafy portions of the central stalks of the leaves, and then slice those stalks into the long way into thin slices. Then cut them into 1-inch pieces and finally chop the green leafy portions and set that aside. Then you're going to want to, in a small bowl, stir together 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of white wine, 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch and sugar and ground black pepper, and then set that aside. Then you're going to heat the vegetable oil and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil in a wok over medium-high heat, and cook and stir the marinated pork until it's cooked through, no longer pink, and the edges have begun to brown. This is going to take about 5 minutes, and then you're going to want to remove the pork and put it in a bowl. Next, you're going to want to pour the beaten eggs into the wok and add some more vegetable oil if it's necessary. Then you're going to cook and stir until the eggs are scrambled firmly and well broken up, about 2 minutes. Stir the mushroom mixture and cook and stir for about 1 to 2 minutes. Then stir in the napa cabbage stem pieces. Cook and stir until the stem pieces are hot but still crunchy, which was going to take about 1 minute. And then you want to add the chopped cabbage leaves, pour in 2 tablespoons of white wine, cook and stir the mixture until it's hot, and that's going to take about another minute. Then mix in the cooked pork and reserve cornstarch mixture and stir everything together until it's like thick and hot. It's going to take about 2 minutes. Then you want to mix the hoisin sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil into a small bowl until it's thoroughly combined. And then to serve these, you want to spread about 1 tablespoon of the mixture I just mentioned onto one of those mushu pork pancakes, and then put about a 1/2 cup of the pork onto that, and then roll it up in the pancake and eat it.
While there are many tasteful types of fungi that are used in many different dishes in China, there are also some toxic types that food safety regulators need to be cautious of. In December 2011, Carcinogenic mold was found in peanuts and cooking oil in the southern city of Shenzhen, China. This mold turned out to be aflatoxin, a type of mycotoxin produced by Aspergillus molds. Aspergillus fungi come from the Ascomycota phylum. Aspergillus is a filamentous, cosmopolitan, and ubiquitous fungus found in nature. It is commonly found in soil, plant debris, and indoor air environments. There are over 185 species of Aspergillus, and at least 20 have been reported as causes of infections in man. Aflatoxin is one of the most well-known and researched mycotoxins. Aflatoxins are very toxic and highly carcinogenic. The amount to which an aflatoxin will affect a person is dependent on characteristics such as age, gender, level of exposure, health, immune system strength, diet, and environmental factors. If someone takes in a high amount of aflatoxins in a very short time, they will likely experience the following symptoms: liver damage, mental impairment, abdominal pain, vomiting, convulsions, and in very serious cases, liver cancer, coma, or possibly even death. However, if someone is taking in small doses of aflatoxins over an extended time period, they will experience growth and development impairment and liver cancer due to DNA mutation. The Chinese food safety regulators reported that the Shenzhen market found up to 4.3 times the permitted level of aflatoxin in peanuts sold in 3 stores and up to 4 times the allowed level in cooking oil used at 4 different restaurants. Aspergillus can infect crops either before harvest or during harvest and storage. Food safety officials recalled all cooking oil and peanuts produced by 3 different companies in the southern Guangdong province. Aflatoxin mycotoxins are harmful to both humans and animals and can cause liver problems and cancer in both species. Drugs and antibiotics do little to help with aflatoxicosis. The extensive research that has been conducted on aflatoxins helps to reduce the number of people affected by the toxin. Just as in every culture, there are plenty of dishes made with fungi, but there are always certain types of fungi that we need to be cautious of. Fungi do not set out to harm humans and animals, but instead they grow where they are capable. Plants, animals, and humans are sometimes harmed by the development of fungi within them. With the employment of food safety regulators, a lot fewer people will be harmed by toxic fungus. It is fortunate that this outbreak was stopped before people were affected. We hope that you enjoyed our presentation on the different sides of fungi in food in China, as we enjoyed learning about the uses of fungi for delicious food and also the sneaky fungi that can do so much damage to humans and animals.